demonstration here to see how it looks. Basically, this is using existing light, sunlight from the outside of the window, and I just want to see how the flesh tones look like, how the close-up. Actually, this is just a zoom, but if we look at it at these angles, how much detail do we actually see? So this is the spin articulator. Look at the model itself. Look at the ball and hinge. If we take it out, do you actually see it come together as such? This two snaps in together like that, and then you see how it is there. If we take out the dies, as you can see, it comes back in place there, and then you just push it down, and you've got the marks there where the pins go. This is clear. Okay, now that's the articulator. Here's just one side of it. Again, you remove the die, you can see the pins. You push it back down to seat it properly, although there is a little gap there, but it's just the way it was trimmed. And this is the other side. Again, this is all existing light. It's in the afternoon. It's about 3:22 in the afternoon in Tampa. So here's another one that uses a purple stone. It almost looks like the it has the same tint as the articulator itself, but it's just a little darker than the articulator. But you can see here, if I remove the die, you can see if it's seated or not. Here it's not really seated, but if I push down, you can see that it's a lot more seated there. So that's this articulator, and here's an example of customizing your articulator using your own company logo. And if you look at the other side, it would have doctor-patient information, doctor-patient plate. And if you look at the inside of this particular articulator, you will see that it has no surface stabilizer here, but it does have the ribs on the inside of the wall. And again, this uses the ball and socket design, which is pretty much a design of the C-Bite disposable articulators. That's a nice movement there. So it's the articulator right there, the Allstone 2. This one here is the Allstone 2 design for the full arch articulator. Pretty much works on the same principle. This is just one side. The front part is where you can put the incisal pin, and you can put it both on the left and on the right side. Here is a stone removal tool, which is used for both the Allstone 1 and the Allstone 2 quad articulators. Simple design. The way it works is it goes through the articulator, and as you can see on the inside here, place it towards the middle, and you just tighten that bolt in place and keep turning it until the stone is ejected from the top. To eject a stone from the full arch, we have the full arch removal tool. This is just one method of removing it, and basically you just slide it into place and then turn this. Make sure you do not remove the bottom piece of the articulator. As you can see, that bottom piece is resting on the surface of the plate, and as I tighten this, it will push up the stone by pushing that cover that covers the underside of the articulator. This is the part that must stay in place. Okay, here's much more using close-up. This is just basically bringing the lens in closer. It's almost like macro. In a way, as you could see the pin, and you could see the ribs in there, and you could see the grooves it creates on the stone, and basically pushing it down, you could see if it's sitting in properly. Pushing it down there. So again, there's a lot of imperfection in here because it wasn't meant. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap there. That's because it wasn't cleaned properly. See a little bit of a gap there, there's no gap there. So this is sitting properly. Okay. Okay, here's an example of a close-up of the panels of the impress tray. As you can see, these are basically square panels for the most part, and you could remove them using